Vince Pichel versus Mark Madsen in the lightweight division. Vinc Pichel is coming in at 14-2 on a 3-fight win streak. He's coming in at 5'10 with the 72-inch reach. And the Olympian Mark Madsen coming back as 11-0 unbeaten dog this week. He's coming in at 5'8 with 72-inch reach. There's other fights on this card that I feel like that could have gotten moved up, but the UFC knows what they're doing, and I'm almost positive that this is going to be a great fight from these two. I mean, 2 losses between the two of them. I mean, Zach, what are you thinking? What are your initial thoughts here?
Oh, you know, I think a lot of people were a lot more impressed with Marco Madsen's last victory over Clay Guida than I was. It was a split decision. It was a close fight. It was on a card that, the only card I've actually ever dropped all of my picks on. So I was really rooting for Clay Guida, but I'm not super impressed with Marco Madsen. I know he's got that great Greco-Roman wrestling game. He's an Olympic silver medalist. He's got all of the pedigrees that you would think would incorporate into a great UFC fighter. But he's one of those guys that I think got into it a little bit too old. I don't think he understands the distance quite as well in MMA that it takes to get to those positions where he can use the Greco-Roman game to get guys to the ground. I think he struggles with, trying to find that range with jabs. He doesn't strike with volume. So I think considering him and Vince Pichel have a history of going 3 rounds, I think Vince Pichel lands more shots, out touches him, and works his way to a decision.
I could definitely see where you're coming from. But what I saw in the last fight was, even though Clay Guida is super old, he's still quality and he's still super experienced and he has a wrestling background and can still wrestle the shit out of people to this day. Now, what I saw from Mark Madsen was superior strength. I'm talking top upper echelon strength from the 155 division, which was put, into play in, wrestling. It's a very grueling sport and very technical. These guys that do wrestling in the UFC and MMA, they have to be very good at it to succeed because all these guys have bases in it. But Mark Madsen, Jesus Christ, dude, he was ragdolling him and just controlling the fight. Is he a polished striker? By no means. Is he probably going to beat him on the feet? Probably not. He's 37 years old. He just got into the game, probably in the last 5 years. I'm not sure. But I think Mark Madsen is just going to come out. He's going to ragdoll him. He's going to get in the clinch. He's going to get where he's comfortable. And he can take a couple shots to get where he wants to be and kind of control the fight in the clinch and try to get it to the ground. I don't think he's a super finisher. I don't think he's going to finish this fight, like you said. But what is one thing that we know? If you have 15 minutes top control, what are you going to do? You're going to win the fight no matter what.
No, I totally agree with that, and I do get nervous about the idea of Madsen getting that front hook in and having that front headlock because he's dangerous from that position. That's where you see him just tossing dudes around. And Vince Pichel is 39 years old. He's not a spring chicken anymore. He's definitely not in the best physical shape of his career that he's ever been in, but I just really was more impressed with his performance against Austin Hubbard than I was with Marco Madsen's. Austin Hubbard's probably not the gold standard of comparing fighters to, especially, comparing their performances. But I think he's a guy that has a wrestling background. He trains with Curtis Blades. He's a good MMA wrestler. Definitely not the best, but he's solid. And Vince Pichel made it look easy against him. I had very, very good thoughts coming out of that fight. So I think just based on the recent history, I'm going to take the guy I feel like is hot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that, but also at the same point, I'm not very high on Austin Hubbard. I don't really think he's a UFC caliber fighter. I don't think that Vinc Pinchel's resume is really just excellent. I don't think that he has any standout. Neither does Marco Madsen, but he has a win over Clay Guida his last time out, and he just looked phenomenal. He's an Olympian wrestler, and if you're dominant like that and you're that much stronger, dude, he looked ginormous, bro. He's built like a brick fucking shithouse, and he's strong as hell. And that's kind of what I'm banking on. Like, yeah, Vinc can hit him and probably put him down, but to this day, we still haven't seen anybody really do that and crack Marco Madsen's puzzle. So I'm rolling with Madsen.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't think Vince Pichel is going to be the guy to crack a chin like that. Uh, I definitely think the UFC gave Marco Madsen a fight that he could win. I don't know why. I guess they see a lot of potential in him. He seems to be developing pretty quickly because it seems like he's getting the slow roll. He's getting fights that he can win. He's adding to that record and that resume. So at the point they finally decide, oh, maybe we give him a little push, it'll be interesting to watch him fight. But all of that being said, he doesn't have great training partners. He doesn't train with great strikers and great guys. Not that I'm going to say don't push him, but he's probably the best guy in that room on most days. Vince Pichel, on the other hand, is a Factory X guy. So, like, he's in the room with guys like Anthony Smith, and he probably, doesn't roll with the bitch-made baby faces, but Brandon Royval's in that room. And, who else is on this list? Court McGee's a veteran. Not that that's the greatest list of names you can think of, but that's certainly a crafty group of veterans that you can learn things from on a daily basis.
I mean, I don't necessarily feel like that matters at all, especially considering what Max Holloway's done in the past with basically sparring with nobody. So I'm gonna get to the odds because let's make some motherfucking money.
Let's peep them.
All right. Uh all right, so it's down here. All right, Mark Madsen coming as a plus 118 dog against Vinc Pichel at minus 130. From my perspective, I'm fucking hammering plus 118. I think this is a slam dunk. I don't really see that much from Vinc Pichel, do you see anything? What are your thoughts on this? Minus 130 seems kind of high for Vinc.
I was just about to say that. Like, I favor him in this fight. I'm going to pick him, no doubt. But honestly, I didn't expect him to even be the favorite, much less minus 130. So I think just for the value of it, the difference between minus 130 and minus 163 to just openly bet on the fight going to a decision, I like that a lot better. I think it's a more conservative bet. It's a safer bet. I have high hopes that one will win. I might sprinkle a little bit on the money line for Vince Pichel, but I don't see any reason. Okay, if you're going to pick Vince Pichel, you might as well play the plus 187 you can get for Pichel wins by decision. I don't see either of these guys doing much on the ground, so I don't think that a sub is a very viable play here. And unless Madsen unleashes some mad ground and pound, I think knockout's probably out of the question as well.
Yeah, I'm rolling the Madsen money line at plus 118. But if you're looking to make a low extra dough, I'm not banking on this, but Madsen plus 280 is not bad at all. Like I said, he's not a knockout artist. He's not really a submission whiz. He's more of a ground and pound kind of lay and pray type guy. I'm not saying that he's boring, but he's going to control the fight. He's going to control the octagon for sure. So if you're looking for any prop, I'm saying plus 280 for win by decision for Madsen.